Welcome back. A significant development coming in. The Democrat Party's top cash machine, ActBlue, rocked by scandal ahead of the midterms. A bombshell report raises questions about whether ActBlue's CEO purposely misled Congress on just how good its vetting really is to stop it from illegally taking in donations from overseas. Connor Hansen has got the story from Washington. Connor.
Liz, this could have major implications for Democrats heading into the midterms, with ActBlue responsible for billions in fundraising for candidates across the country. One of its own former lawyers reportedly suggested this could lead to a criminal investigation. A report in the New York Times cited a 2023 letter from its CEO, Regina Wallace-Jones, to GOP investigators, claiming ActBlue used multi-layered screening to root out foreign donations, which of course are illegal under federal law. The problem? ActBlue's former lawyers told her some of those steps weren't always followed, and that presented a substantial risk if she was found to have misled Congress. The platform has been under suspicion for years.
A bunch of them turn out to be like diehard Republicans,
right? People
that have never given money in their life. So you're going to track down a bunch of these people where it says, oh, I gave $16,000. And they're like, I didn't give $16,000. What are you talking about?
I think ActBlue thought they could get away with it because the money wasn't leaving people's accounts. It was just coming from foreign or illegal sources. It was being laundered through people's identities.
ActBlue sent us a statement saying Wallace-Jones never made false statements, adding non-U.S. citizens have not and never will be permitted to make political contributions on our platform. Every contribution made through ActBlue goes through a fraud review. Its former law firm, Covington & Burling, stands by what it said, writing, "We have complete confidence in the legal advice our lawyers provided to ActBlue." According to The Times, the law firm's memos said some donors paid through platforms like Apple Pay, PayPal, and Venmo, and were not asked for verification like a passport number to prove they were U.S. citizens. Liz?
Connor Hansen, thank you so much. Now listen to this.
I can tell you that that is a priority of this administration and this Department of Justice, and it's something that a lot of people have been very worried about for a very long time, and you should rest assured that it includes the Department of Justice and it includes me.
That's Acting U.S. Attorney General Todd Blanche saying it is a priority of the Justice Department to probe Democrats breaking the law, illegally taking in foreign campaign donations. The Justice Department, Congress, both have launched investigations into ActBlue. The New York Times reports that the law firm Covington Burling warned ActBlue, its top official, misled Congress likely, falsely claiming it was doing tighter vetting of foreign donations. Let's welcome to the show from House Oversight, Tennessee Congressman Tim Burchett. Congressman, it's good to see you again. Happy Easter. What do you make of all this? There's been a lot of speculation foreign money is coming into ActBlue from places like China, Russia, Venezuela, and Iran. What do you know about this?
Of course it is, Liz. We've been talking about this since during the Biden administration. But the problem is the Trump administration will go after him, but the justice system takes so long and it's so delayed that I'm afraid by the time anything happens, they could dump so much money into these campaigns. They might be, the Democrats might be in the majority again. And then where are we going to be then? I would hope at some point someone gets prosecuted in a hurry. We need justice and we need it now. And the delays are ridiculous. I have full faith and confidence in the acting attorney general. He's a straight shooter and he'll go after him. But I worry about the system and the delays.
Yeah, on the face of it, it's pretty absurd for ActBlue to say they vet every donation where they're getting money in from Venmo and Zelle all over the place. Have you seen any details that they are taking in foreign money and from nations, people in nations like Russia, China, Venezuela, and Iran? Have you seen that? Have you heard about it?
Yes, ma'am. Of course I have. Multiple, Eric Burleson said in your preliminary reporting there that people will show multiple accounts. I heard Elon say to me personally in a meeting, he said that they run these things through there and then they have multiple, they'll have 10 or 15 donations in their name. But of course, they never gave a dime of it. It just shows their name and they're legitimate. Every dollar I get, I run through an accountant to make sure it's legal, because you have to watch that stuff and somebody can set you up, and they do it quite a bit. They've had a history of doing that. The problem is prosecution. We have not gone after these Democrat folks, and these are offenders. These are foreign nationals that are trying to overthrow our elections, something that we should hold very sacred, but unfortunately the Democrat Party does not.
So what would you want to see happen next?
I would want to see prosecution. I believe that their president perjured himself, the head of ActBlue perjured himself, and I believe that that's due criminal charges. I think we ought to have criminal charges also when we prove that these are foreign nationals that are giving this money, or foreign companies or foreign countries, because that is exactly what the Democrats accused Trump of doing. And he was clean in all of that, yet they're the ones that doing it. I've always said, you know, you always accuse somebody of something that you're doing, and dadgummit, Liz, that's what the Democrats were doing. They were running foreign money through to beat Donald Trump, and they accused him of doing that very thing, and he was not doing it.
Congressman Tim Burchett, thanks for joining us tonight. It's great to see you again. Appreciate you. Now, listen to this one.
Have a great Easter.
You too.